Yes, yes, yes. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Tasharafna. Ismi Chris. Wa Ah, ahlan wa sahlan. Hi everyone, new name here, playing his favorite game, Watcher of Realms. And that's just a standard greeting, a very peaceful blessing and greeting for any of our modern standard Arabic speakers visiting the channel today. So, the Codex has returned, and I've recently pulled Cyrus, I forget if it was 2 weeks ago or last week. And I've been attempting different strategies for the Immortal Codex that don't include Cerberus because I never pulled the hero. And I don't want to just have a meta strategy with Atrox or, the top five over and over because it's just not exciting. So I'll show you a lineup and a strategy that I've been successful with, I think, being in the top 3%. And you'll see here. And it's not what you think it is, and they're not geared exactly how you think they are. But if you come in, you take a look at this ranking, okay? Let's see. We'll go through a little bit of this list together, and you'll notice here's Gone, here's Ardea, here's not Gwendolyn, I forget her name, Constance. A Brook here slips in, but here's a Valk and here's a Cerberus. It's the same heroes. You can't do it any other way, apparently. Okay, there's some tweaks, but now you're starting to look, and you're seeing Cerberuses slip in a bit. And I never looked past this first list here, okay? And I came up with this just for my own self on some experimentation I was doing on Gear Aid 119. So you'll see the lineup that I used to achieve an SS rating. Bottom SS, but still the top 3% is going to give me some pretty serious rewards. So let's take a look together, okay? You'll see here that I was just squeaking in at SS. So again, you go into your ranking, you look at your ranking rewards. So tomorrow, when I log in at reset, more than likely I will still be in the top 5%. So I'm going to get almost an entire, what do you call it here? Ancient summoning crystal, okay? At 28 tomorrow. I'm going to get all these rewards. So if you have any kind of similar roster to what I'm about to show you here, it might be effective for you as well. And I'd love a god. I would love a soul cadence. Whatever's going on, you want lords, you want the ancient shard summons. The developers promised they would bring us easier and quicker access to attain that item, and this method perhaps can be your route to gaining more of those infamous and famous Lego lords. And here's my lineup, and I'll show you the gear after. And it's not always a guarantee to do an SS, but for how I'm set up, it's an easy auto S plus. But we're going to do it together on 1 times, okay? And the strategy that I have is I put my Cyrus down first, facing up. And Cyrus spawns 2 skeletons. If you hit his ultimate, he'll put another one in this corner. So instead of allowing that to happen, I'm going to take my Abomination next and have him facing down. I have Soulbound Arcana on my Cyrus. So I want my Cyrus to get 5 stacks as soon as possible. That's key. My Volca is wearing Invigoration. So if she could reach one more tile, it would have given it to Abomination. So she gets it herself. She's not going to do any damage. It doesn't matter on this setup. Valkyrie is going to support the left side here of Cyrus for any of the jerks that squeak through. And you might be wondering why I put Valeria in the middle when there's a Wrath in the way and a skeleton. Because when it comes down to crunch time at about SS plus, and this wall is full, Valeria's ultimate at the end of it is going to explode. So again, you might be asking, why are you using your ultimate when there's nobody here or whatever? Because I have Soulbound Arcana on Valkyria also. So the sooner I can get these heroes to 5 stacks, the sooner they're doing 50% more damage. Not more damage during ultimate, 50% more damage. The other reason that Valkyria goes on the Cyrus side is because if you're not familiar how strong this hero really is, aside from having one of the best bums in the game, she has a res. So the first time fatal damage occurs to Cyrus, you'll be like, oh no, you'll see his bar go down, but then he'll pop back up. And depending on the skills that you have in your Valkyria, he'll have up to 80%, I think, resed health. So this is huge. The idea on this codex, whatever you're doing, is obviously to protect this wall. It's the whole idea. The name of the game, protect this wall. So if you're able to, you'll see how long this wall takes 0 damage. I don't know how your runs look. I've always had a pretty stacked roster to do this since its inception on global. It should be about A plus before I start to struggle with keeping the mobs from hitting this gate or whatever the wall. And you'll see Volca, she's only in there because she lowers res timers if I need it, but she's allowing self-healing from the like Abomination here and Wrath. So this isn't the strategy that I've used to get Cyrus to do 100 million damage here. And he can do it. But in this strategy, I think Abomination is going to do the large work for damage. But he's also, once he's got his ultimate up twice, you'll see here, Abomination is now only doing his ultimate. So it's an AoE that spreads across that whole range there. So he's helping stun anything that might be near the fence. This is important, especially as you're noticing, like I'm not using Cerberus, I'm not using quick reses and I don't know what you call it, area of effect death pools of dead heroes. Okay. Yes, it's an effective strategy, but I've gotten a higher result doing this. And it's more fun for me because the last time Codex came around, I got about the same results using the meta strategy. And meta gets boring real quick, especially when it's week or bi-weekly. You're not going to, you'll just look at this and be like, you know what? I don't even care about the rewards anymore. And then it's not a fun game. So to keep it fresh and different and to use heroes that are in your roster that some people are like, I don't really have a use for this hero. Maybe this will show you a use for like what some people, they're like, Wrath has no use. If you take a look at Wrath here, like he's out there without a healer and he's getting schwacked and whacked and banged and there's no problem. Wrath won't die. Abomination, he ain't going to die. The only one that's going to die is the tank. And the reason that the tank is susceptible to that death, though, is the way that I have him built in a damage set. But that damage really helps take care of the enemies near this wall. So you'll notice here that my Cyrus, there's no skeleton out, and he's close to death. And here comes that S that I was telling you about. So if he dies to these big guys here, Valkyria will keep him alive with a res. So I'll make sure his skeleton's down. And now here comes that res. See how he's at 0 health, 0 health, 0 health? He just got res. Boom. It was like 70% health. Now that Volca can actually start doing some kind of damage, I engage her ultimate. So by the end of it, there'll be this AoE explosion. Then I'm going to use my Valyria. And you can time this in different ways for yourself, obviously, on your own account or depending how much rage regen your heroes have, whatever's going on to help you succeed. And I don't suspect this is a SS run, but you'll see it was a pretty easy S plus run. I'm talking to you while I did it. So I don't know how much fun you think Codex is or it isn't. I definitely didn't appreciate the setup of the last boss that was for us. If you didn't have certain specific heroes like Sadie, it wasn't possible to get to a certain level. Okay. I cheesed it with some damage reduction heroes, but it wasn't fun. It was more like I'm forced into something I don't want to do for a bare minimum of reward. So on this one, the way that I have it set up, Abomination, like I said, would do the vast majority. Then you have Valkyria who's supplementing the damage of your Cyrus. You can do it another way so that Cyrus gets 100 million damage, but I get roughly a similar result, okay? So when you look down here, Valyria didn't do anything, except at the end she had a bit of an explosion. You can mess around with your own account, doing what you like. For me, to be able to, I'm certain, auto S pluses daily now without having to put any more in is plenty of reward for me. Excuse me. As far as I'm concerned, this guy looks like Cyrus anyway, so why not use Cyrus on himself, as we used to kill Gear Rate 3, Stage 19, Zilly on Zilly. Okay? So again, I'm not really going to push for an SS plus. Hopefully this lineup can get it for you and maybe even push you up into the top 100, which I think would be absolutely awesome to have an off-meta lineup, way off-meta lineup. No Atrox, no Cerberus, no Gon, no Ardea. I don't have those heroes except for Atrox. So I'm going to show the gear now, and if you've already had enough and this has shown you what you need to help you succeed at maybe even just going from B to an S, I thank you very much for having found my content, and please share the strategy in your chat. I don't care if you share the videos, it doesn't matter to me. I just want the information to get out to the vast majority of people who are struggling and have new accounts. Now I will show you the gear. Valeria is nothing special. This is the exact same gear that I use on Idril with no power dominance to solo DPS Gear Raid 3 Stage 19. There's nothing special. You can get these gears, you can farm these from Stage 18, maybe Stage 17. I forget where you can get the Ancients. I think the ring has to be Stage 18 of Gear Raid 3. Okay? This is completely attainable stuff. She's max skilled. I had to use her exclusive artifact because the Wailing Skull, it would spawn and it would take up the skeleton spot that Cyrus spawns. And I don't want that. So the Frigid Flame is a decent artifact for Valkyria. Most of the damage she does, or at least half, is at a distance. So she gains damage boost for that. And here she is. It's just that if you take a look at max, okay, she's under 17k attack. It's not ideal. However, decent rolls on a crit damage, decent rolls attack, the rolls that matter there, right? Sub decent, barely scratching that area, okay? Big attack boost there on the gold. I don't have many gold rolls, all right? But if you look into her skills here, I got fortunate with some crystals, and you notice that if I get that last one, it would really make an impact. That extra 5 seconds of her ultimate really, really helps, especially in Faction Trials Stage 12. So the man of the hour, Cyrus, who we saw, I didn't use the Lord bonus. He's got an extra 25% damage, and you're like, well, it's a defender, who cares? But you saw what he did, okay? I didn't like this. I wanted all his ultimate. Perhaps this really helps having, it's kind of like the Volca. All the skills went into this man's passive. So maybe that's the key for what I'm doing with this hero, okay? I apologize. His artifact is just a bastion wall or bastion ring. It's only on there because it's got big base stats. I don't care if he blocked an extra hero or not, but I do care about the damage reduction of the magic damage reduction he was getting in another stage, not this one. Okay. So Abomination. And people tell me I'm a fool for liking this artifact on Abomination. It's not even halfway skilled. And you'll see our upgrading. He's getting 14% constant damage boost because once his ultimate is engaged twice, it's 100% uptime and it's AoE damage. So he's getting 14% extra damage to that AoE. If he kills somebody, he gains another 50% of that innate bonus. So he'd be doing 20% more damage anytime he kills somebody for 3 seconds. That's pretty large, as you saw on the scoreboard. So I don't normally run Abomination and Infernal Wrath, but I finally was able to put together a set that was 100% crit rate. It's with this ring. It's got decent rolls, but it's crit rate. Can't help it. Okay. I wish this had crit rate. This is the only item I'm missing with it. Decent rolls, decent speed. Okay, you see he's at 400 speed. I can't get an Infernal Roar ring that rolls well for the life of me, and I've tried, and I'm going to continue to try. Big speed. Okay, this was the key here. You notice there's not much crit damage. I wish I was able to establish better rolls on items that gave me at least another 100% crit damage. Then you could imagine this is an SS plus run, no question about it. Okay, so who else do we have in here? We have Volca, who really didn't do anything, and part of it also is where I put her and what she wears. Okay, like this is nothing. That none of this matters. The attack speed, yeah, okay. Volca isn't there to do damage in that setup for me. If she is for you, she can tank. She can heal herself because of her passive, and I'll show you in her skills. She's going to heal for 7% of her HP. So if you build her with like 80, 75, 70k HP, she becomes unkillable for a sustained period of time. And the faster she's attacking, the more she's healing for 7%, plus whatever healing effect bonus you have upon her. So you'll notice I have her at 116% heal effect. It actually, or 116 heal effect, sorry. It matters. And the final hero that we used here was Wrath. So on Wrath, Soulbound Arcana. I can't control his ultimate, but it's definitely going off more than 5 times. All right. And I forget, this one's probably, I think it's a lesser set for me. All right. It's got, like, this is a Unicorn Dream set piece right here, but it didn't roll well. It rolled good enough. I'm happy enough. Okay. And I really believe that if you have max skilled heroes on the, if you use this exact roster I have, and they have max skills, okay? I didn't show you Abomination skills. That's another key to it. And people, again, they argue about Abomination not having a value, okay? His A1 means he's going to stun. But if you look at his skills, he crushed the damage board, and he's got only powder. Okay? He's got an extra 5% damage to his ultimate that's constantly going. All right? He doesn't have the physical reduction as you saw over there, which would really help on that stage to take 10% less damage. But he's built well enough that he's not going to die as you saw. Okay? I apologize. When you go into the gear here and you look at my abomination, okay, this is what really helps. Some of this is as you like artifact and whatnot, okay, and I have a strong pantheon. But you're looking at these numbers. This is a free-to-play hero that people tell you is trash. He falls off at endgame. He's not worth anything everywhere or anywhere, okay? This hero is your stepping stone to get over the wall, Hadrian's Wall, if you will, and get those pesky Romans out of your way so you can collect all the riches that you want. So whatever your beliefs are, I hope that you've had fun watching this video and it helps you ascertain certain info that you weren't able to on your own because you don't have those heroes, you don't have the items that I have on them. Thank you for watching. This is New Name playing his favorite game, Watch Your Realms. Take care, everybody. Please be nice to each other.